Hi, Caitlin. I'm taking a look at your project. I love the opening slide. I would say maybe move, the title to where there's a little more space, like where it's easier to read it, because when it's over top of this, it's a little harder to read that. But I mean, I think it's kind of cool. I'm not sure why you do this where you kind of go over onto the image when you could very easily, just have it go underneath. And you should be able to make the space between these less. Spacing, line spacing, single. And then you could easily fit it all in here. And take out that stuff. It's gonna look better than like this as well. Like, I don't know why you have that all the way across like that. And you probably would want, if you have these, you've got the little dashes here, sort of bullet at them. I would do the same for this. Again, have that, it's just a matter of making it look a little more professional. Not sure why you have these colors behind it. It looks a little odd, especially because you're coming from, like, you're starting with this, which looks kind of old, and then you have this, and so again, it looks sort of like handwriting, and you've got these images of the books, and then this looks really kind of oddly modern, and then you've got this yellow thing splash here, so it's a little confusing stylistically, and then it's just a ton. You've got a ton of text, which is not at all how these should be. You also need to have audio narration on all of these, so make sure you have that. I've looked at your sources. These need to be here. They need to say works cited. They need to be correct. Cross-reference it. Info text guide. No, please don't use that. The Britannica is fine. This one I would normally say no blogs, but I did go and I took a look at it, and that seems to be pretty legit, so that one is fine. Make sure they're in proper MLA format. Make sure you're citing your sources in your narration. Like, everything you have here that you're going to talk about needs to be here in the bottom in the notes, and it needs to be cited. So, what did he stand for? Maybe what he believed in would be better. I'm not sure, but more information about this here. You very briefly kind of outline, like, these are these things, but you never go into any detail. And what we need is detail. Your audience is not going to be able to understand the connections between Erasmus Darwin and the text if you don't go into some detail into some of these things. A lot more with this too. This is fine. Again, less text, images, do the narration, etc. And then the connections to the novel, these need to each be pretty much their own slide. I think you picked out some really good stuff. I mean, you came up with some really good things here, some really great connections. Separate the connections out, give each connection its own slide, and then you have to go into a lot greater, like, this is not really an analysis. It's just identifying the connections. That's just the very, very beginning of that section. It needs to be developed a lot further. So make sure that you watch the video that I post in the announcements, because I really go through how to, like, develop each of the 3 sections, the things that people tend to run into. And a lot of students are having the same issue of, like, they're identifying the connections, but they're not really analyzing them. And so I explain how to do that in there. Also make sure you go back through the different references or resources that I provided in the D2L site under Learning Materials Ancestor project, because there's some videos, there's a sample paper or a sample project, all kinds of stuff. If you look at the sample project, make sure you download it so you can see the whole thing, you can see the notes. Okay, so those are my notes for you for this particular project, and if you have questions about anything in this video that I'm telling you, if you have questions about any of the resources that I provided for you, the video that's in the announcements, anything like that, please get a hold of me so I can further explain it and help you out in any way I can. If you want to bring another version of this draft to me, make sure you make an appointment to come see me, and then I will take a look at it during that appointment. So you just, at this point, need to let me know what you need.